This is set to be a very gradual reopening of France's schools. Today is the first day. They are set to open, due to open if they can meet the sanitary conditions required. And already most of them aren't welcoming pupils. This elementary school I'm standing in front of today has already tabled a couple of teacher training days before the children will start to come in to take the staff through the very strict hygiene rules all schools need to implement if they're going to see pupils back at school. Class sizes are being kept at 15 maximum, 10 in Paris. They put markers with tape down on the floor to show pupils the way they must walk around the school buildings. It's all being very closely monitored indeed. No ball games will be allowed. They'll not be allowed to share any materials such as pens or books. And here in this school playground behind me, the climbing frames, the slides that the children would usually use have been cordoned off. So it's going to be a very different school day for those children who do start returning. Priority is being given to the children of emergency workers, transport workers too, those who work in food shops, of course the children of doctors and nurses who've had school places allocated if they wish throughout this whole lockdown. So this is opening up, but very gradually indeed, and with very different conditions than what we've seen before.
And Catherine, of course, as I mentioned earlier, this has been dubbed a rather controversial move by some lawmakers as well as parents.
Extremely controversial indeed. When Emmanuel Macron, the French president, went on national TV and announced that schools would be reopening from May the 11th, there was a lot of surprise around the country, with people fearing it was too soon, that it would spark off a second wave of coronavirus infections, because it was believed schools not able to respect social distancing, especially for young children, would be vectors for the disease. So a lot of people are worried about sending their children back, about whether it could make their children or other more vulnerable members of their family, or perhaps themselves, ill as well. People are concerned about the conditions that children will face if they do go back to school. For example, will it traumatize them more than perhaps they already have been during the coronavirus outbreak? Some children from age 6 and up could be wearing face masks in school. Their teachers and all the adult staff will be wearing face masks, and there will be strict sanitary conditions. And then you've got teachers who are very concerned indeed about heading back to the workplace and risking possible infection. Teachers' unions have been calling on the government to let their staff, to let teachers not exercise the right to not come into work if they so wish, if they feel that they're in danger, if they feel sufficient sanitary measures aren't in place. And in fact, you had 300 mayors from the Paris region just last week writing an open letter to the French government saying that May the 11th is too early to reopen schools.